My name is Liz. I'm bringing you all things and everything to wigs. We're gonna move this. Welcome to my channel. My name is Liz, and this is where I talk all things and everything's wigs. I'm an affiliate of Chelsey Smith Crowns, so I talk a lot about that specific brand, but sometimes I hit other brands, and sometimes I talk about living at the beach. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about frequently asked questions when it comes to Chelsey Smith Crowns. So I get a lot of these questions, especially from newer wig wearers, so I just wanted to have like one video where I kind of go over all of them. And so these are just like FAQs. It's going to be kind of rapid fire. I'll try on some other wigs while we're standing here. But first question is, are they human hair? That one I get all the time. They are not human hair. They are a high quality lace front synthetic, okay? So they are usually Futura fiber or a bio Futura fiber. What is Futura fiber? So Futura fiber is just like a higher end of synthetic hair, and it's meant to mimic sort of natural human hair. It's meant to not tangle as much. It's like silky smooth. So again, depending on what the actual texture of your hair is, it may mimic your hair, it may not, but it's meant to maintain longer, look like human hair, flow like human hair. So that is what they are. And they are synthetic. That changes the price point. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, you can find cheaper wigs. You totally can. You can find the less expensive version of anything. The reason I always like Chelsey's is because I feel like her styles are super, super useful. What is the range of her crowns, right? So the wigs are $75 to like $140. Obviously, if you use my code, you could save 10%. But that's usually kind of the price point for where things are at. And again, you can find higher, you can find lower synthetic wigs, but that is the price point. And I personally think that her styles are so, so useful. I have seen higher end brands of synthetic wigs that go for like $250 plus, and I feel like the styles are just like so not useful. I know, which if that's what you're looking for, great. But for me, I'm in my 30s. I want my hair to kind of look like fun and have different colors and all that kind of stuff. So that is one of the things I do love about her. How do you take care of them? So they have to be washed probably it depends on how much you sweat in them, what you're doing in them, all that kind of stuff. But I would say probably every 6 or so wears. Personally, for me, I think Chelsey says 8 to 10, but I would say probably 6 wears. You'll start to kind of look at them and feel like they need a good wash. You have to wash them in cold water. Do not wash them in hot water. And you have to use a shampoo and conditioner that's made for synthetic hair. Change up my crown. This is one of my favorites, Giselle. And as I'm making this video, she is still available. So you should check her out. Okay, next FAQ, and I'm just like spitballing these. These are kind of the ones that I feel like I get most often. Are they heat friendly? Yes, they are heat friendly. You can curl them, you can straighten them. Now, if I were to straighten this, you will completely lose this curl. It's not like normal hair. It's not going to come back into a curl. So once it's straightened, it's straightened. And curling it is a little bit different. You can't just take your curling iron and run it through, or curling wand and run it through it. You have to curl it, let it set, completely cool, and then it will hold the curl. So they are heat friendly, and I usually do it on a low heat setting, and I always do a test strand just in case. But yes, they are heat friendly. They can be changed with heat. It just isn't the same necessarily as like extensions or human hair. So keep that in mind. How long does it take to ship? Well, I would love to say I control shipping, but I don't. So they come from California. That's where Chelsey Smith is located. Usually to get it out of the warehouse, it's probably around 4 to 5 days, depending on if it's a wig show or not. And then from there, obviously, it's on the mail carrier situation, so we don't know what happens at that point. What is a wig show? So every other Tuesday, usually, Chelsey will go live on her socials, and she will do a wig show where she tries all them on. She calls it her preview show. So those wigs are not available until after the show. And then after the show, which usually lasts about an hour or so, they'll give you a time when they're going to go live on the website, and that's when you can go shop those wigs. Other than that, like the wigs that are available are always on the website and you can shop at any time. But like the newer wigs come out every 2 weeks. They may be some new styles. They may be some restocks. It just depends. Are they hot? Oh my gosh, that is the one I get literally all the time. So here's the thing. Anything you put on your head, like a hat or anything, is probably going to be a little hot. But I used to wear extensions for years, and I don't feel like these add any more or less heat than those, especially if it's long. There are plenty of low density crowns, like a coral, that won't cause you to be as overheated because it's not like on your neck and around here. So they're low density and they're nice and short. So if you're looking for something that's going to keep you cooler, definitely do that. I think they have like cooling caps and stuff, but if it's 100 degrees out, it's going to be hot no matter what you're doing with your hair. So like, yes, they're warm, but it's not, in my opinion, anything crazy. I've had a bunch of people who like live in Florida or Texas or like are going through menopause, and they are fine with the crowns. So it just kind of, again, depends on who you are as a person. This is also turning into my pick out my crown of the day. So this is Butterfly. She's not currently in stock, but she will be back, so don't you worry, and she's going to be coming in other colors. So I get asked about this one a lot. What is the density? So density is like how much hair per like wig, what the thickness is. So our human hair, our normal hair usually is around like 110. Again, if you have like super thick hair, that's going to be different. But the wigs range from like 120 to 150. So 150 means it's like a really high density crown. 120 is going to be lower. You can't go too much lower than that because you do have to hide like the wefting of the cap. So 120 density is going to be a very low density crown. Oh, what are the sizing? So the sizing comes in standard, petite, and large. You're going to measure your head. It tells you how to do that. So you're going to do the two ones that I think are the most important are the circumference of your head and then your ear to ear. So you'll measure that, and then on each of the crowns, there is a measurement for what it is, and you can see which range you fall in between. I always wear a standard. I think I could fit into some petites, but I personally would just rather be in control of tightening it versus not tightening it. I'm going to try to put this on here and hope that it catches me because I do want to go over the cap. So this is lace front. That means that instead of a hard front, which you'll see on like Halloween wigs, those are usually hard front wigs, it lays more flat against your head. And this is what her cap construction will look like if there is lace up top. The different spaces, this can be a 13 by 3, a 13 by 4, 13 by 6. It just is how much lace space is actually up front versus how much cap. Some of them are T-parts. So the one that I had on at first is a T-part. This means that you cannot move the hair back and forth. That's a fixed part. The other ones, like this one, is a lace front bang, but technically I can move her parting depending on where she is. So T-part, if you are new to wig wearing, what do I recommend? Honestly, I recommend a T-part because I think they're the easiest to hide the hairline. I think it's going to be the most natural for you to get used to. And if you're someone who likes to move your hands throughout your hair, it's going to be a little harder to do that, but I think you're going to want to get more used to like actually having the wig on than to do that. And I think over time you can switch into like a more lace space here. This back clip kind of I push underneath here. There are going to be two side clips. I don't use them. And then these are helping to tighten it in the back as well as the added band. So that's kind of the construction of most of Chelsey Smith's caps. Why do the colors on the videos or videos live look different? So obviously everybody's phone reads differently, how you have it set, what colors it's reading. So a lot of the times on the website, crowns aren't going to look exactly the same as they do when you see it on someone. I usually think that on the website it looks a little bit darker or lighter, like depending on either way. So like this one, this shadow root is, in my opinion, not as dark in person as it's showing up in the video. So it's always something to keep in mind. That's why I do always look at the descriptions of coloring, because a lot of the time the coloring descriptions will repeat themselves. So like, let's say it uses mushroom brown and you're like, what's mushroom brown? If you go and type mushroom brown into the search bar, it'll show you other crowns that also have that color usage. Or like apricot, you can search apricot. Now some of them are hand dyed, so the color is going to vary from crown to crown. But that way, if you know, oh, hey, I like this crown, and I go and I search and it has the same coloring, you'll be like, okay, now I know what this color looks like. I really like a lot of the coppers, but the difference in the color of the copper, is it more brown? Is it more copper? Is it more red? Is it more orange? That will be in the description on each of the crowns, like what the actual color marking are. And if you don't know what that color is, like you don't know what a level 10 blonde is, you can type level 10 blonde or level 9 blonde or whatever it is, and it'll bring you the other crowns that are also level 9 blondes, so you can kind of get an idea of what else you might have seen before that you like, and go from there. How long a day can you wear them? So I wear them all day. I think you can wear them for as long as you want. They shouldn't be sliding back and they shouldn't be too tight on your head. So they shouldn't be giving you a headache, but they shouldn't be super moving either. So it's like a very perfect like Goldilocks spot that you'll find with wigs. I personally would rather it be like not so tight, because then if it's giving you a headache, it's way too tight. But if it's moving throughout the day, it's way too loose. So it just kind of depends. What do you put on underneath the wigs? Whatever you put on underneath the wig kind of has to depend on what you like, what you don't like, if you have hair, if you don't have hair. I use a wig grip and then the cap. If you are having a really hard time with it slipping back, even with a wig grip and a cap, I recommend a silicone wig. It just gives it a little more traction. Now, note, if you're putting silicone directly on your hair, it's going to kind of like pull, so just be careful, obviously. But that's what I do underneath my cap to kind of keep it from moving or sliding throughout the day. I feel like that is a lot of the frequently asked questions, but if you have more, I'm totally open to doing a second video with FAQs that come up a lot. Oh, how do you store your wigs? I'm going to do that last one. So as you can see, I have this over the door hanger. I like it, but it's not my favorite. I use these tie racks that I got from Amazon, and then I hook either the back strap or the little clips in the back on each of the tie holders and hang that. That's how I store them. If you can't hang them, I recommend keeping them in the silk bags that they come in, because you want to keep as much like stuff away from the hair. That's going to degrade the hair over time. Ooh, another question. What is how long do these last? So depending on how often you wear them, that's obviously and take care of them, that's going to make their life of the wig last a little bit longer or less. So if you're wearing one, like the same one every day, it's probably going to last like maybe 4 to 6 months. If you're not wearing them every day, if you switch in and out, if you wash them consistently, if you maintain them, take care of them, they can last upwards of a year plus. I've had some people who say they have certain wigs for like 2 years. So it just sort of depends. Like, they are synthetic. So over time, they're going to get a little bit like, you know, worn, maybe a little bit more frizzy, all that kind of stuff. And there's different things that you can do to kind of bring them back to life, using a wig mask, so conditioner mask, using the heat comb, which is this on the ends. That's always super helpful. So there's different things that you can do, but I would usually say like 6 to 8 months, like with a lot of use, and then it could be more or less depending, obviously. So there's usually a wig show every other Tuesday. You can shop Chelsey's website, which is ChelseySmithCrowns.com, or you can go to my profile. The link is there. It should automatically apply my code for an extra 10% off. That code works on any regularly priced item, and it's free shipping over $250. So just keep that in mind. Like before, if you go under $250, the 10% is kind of just giving you the shipping free, which is also great. But if you try to get to that $250, then you're getting like the real 10% off the wig. So just my suggestion. It should automatically apply, but if it doesn't, you can type in Elizabeth at checkout. Thank you for coming to my channel. Like and subscribe. Put any questions in the comments. Use that code, get yourself a wig, wear the wig, bestie. Don't be scared, okay? It's gonna feel like really weird when you start wearing wigs. It's gonna be hard to see yourself, but you got this. I believe in you. Okay, love you, bye.